All right, everybody, welcome to the call today on GeoFarm and Circle Prospecting. This is Scott Pierce at Listings to Leads. And before we get started, I want to walk you through the new, well, not walk you through, but just show you the new flip book that we have for the listing presentations. So you're going to have a version of this for the standard listing presentation that is in your account, but then you're also going to have these for the custom presentations that you create for your specific listing presentation that you're going on, where you can upload an image of that property and it will create the flip book. And we're also going to have a landing page for the specific listing presentations as well. And again, we're talking the standard listing presentation, expired, the FSBO. They're all going to have the flip book like this, and they're all going to have a landing page so that you can actually, instead of sending the 26-page PDF to the seller, whether it's a standard listing, expired listing, or FSBO listing, so instead of sending that 26-page PDF, you'll be able to send a landing page link for their specific presentation. Does that make sense for everybody? Hopefully that made sense. So again, this is the general one. But again, you'll have the option to create these same flip books for specific listing presentations so that every page, the owner is looking at their property, right? And it's going to be your brand colors on everything. And then when the homeowner scans that QR code, it's going to bring up their phone or their home right on their phone, put it that way. So you have any questions on that, let me know. I'd love to hear any feedback or any thoughts on that if you have them. And let's go to listingstoleads.com, log into your account, be on the dashboard here. And a couple of things before I get into it. One is, if you've got an active listing, in particular an open house. So here we got checklist 1-2, open house. Pending and sold listings for GeoFarm is super good. We got seller guides, and we got a few other things that you can use for GeoFarm and Circle Prospecting. And I want to go to open house because this is one, if you don't have a current listing, find a listing to hold open that is in your GeoFarm, that is in an area that you want to get more listings, that you want to get buyer leads for. If you don't have a listing, open houses are the best avenue to go. If you do have a listing, then follow what I'm going to say for your listing, at least 2 statuses. So it might be an active listing, and then you'll do this again when it's just sold. It could be just listed. You'll do it again when it's just sold. Hopefully that will make sense. Because the idea is we want to combine GeoFarm and Circle Prospecting to get quicker and better and faster results. Let me just show you what I mean here. For open house, checklist 1-2, I'm going to click View Step-by-Step Guide, Learn More. I'm going to open that up. And you're going to see a very similar idea for all of these checklists. And by that, what I mean is I'm going to scroll down because there's 2 areas that deal with GeoFarm/Circle Prospecting. And that is, first, the Nearby Homeowner Letter. So I'm going to play this video real quick. So just listen. It's about a 30-second video.
That I've had the most successful homeowner letter. So as soon as I listed the property, I sent out 100 letters or so. And then as soon as it went under contract, I sent them out again. And then when it sold, I sent them out again. So it worked. So from that, I had a lot of contact people there. And right now, we're about to close on the 3rd condo. And that was a direct result of the letters.
So were you guys able to hear that? Let me know if you're able to hear her speaking. I made it full screen because we got the closed caption so you could at least read it if you weren't able to hear her speak. But she's talking about the fact that she used the Nearby Homeowner Letter for her listings. And so a lot of people use them at either just listed or open house. And so if it's your listing, obviously you can use it at either status. If you don't have a listing, you can borrow a listing to hold open, and you can use these letters to invite all the neighbors to the open house, same as a listing agent. And then again, for the listing agents, when the listing goes into contract / pending, whatever you're going to call that. And then again, when it's just sold, she is working with a lot of sellers, right? She's working with a lot of sellers, had 3 listings in that same building. So the Nearby Homeowner Letter, let's keep that in mind. And then as I scroll down, there is another. So here, then we got Circle Prospecting scripts that we'll talk about as well. That's in your account. And then if I scroll down just a little bit more, and it's the sign writers. So I'm going to play this video as well, just about 20 seconds, because I want you to hear the quality of the lead, or just, let's just play it. I'm going to go to 30 seconds, and then I'll make this full screen as well.
Business. I love the call text service that's attached to it. I put the sign out in front of my listings, and I get quite a bit of traction from those. I've been using listings to leads for probably 2.5 years, and I've been happy with the service so far. Can't complain. I appreciate everything that listings to leads does and helps me in my.
All right. So I mentioned that because your yard signs are some of the best lead sources out there. And so it's a little bit of a small picture right there, but if you go to this page, and let me drop this page into the GoToWebinar control panel here for everybody. So I'm going to drop this in to the chat section. So let me know if there's a chat section in the GoToWebinar control panel. Later, I can put this in the mastermind group if you need it. You can also access it through your account like I showed you. But you want to make sure when you are the listing agent that you've got that text sign writer on your yard sign. I highly recommend getting the status writers. So you see here, it says open house. Get those for every status that you've got. And that is going to totally help you generate more great listing leads and buyer leads. Because when you change the status of your listing, and then you go to the yard sign, and you change that status from, for example, just listed to open house to active to pending. That's the big one, right? When the listing goes pending. Because as that status is changing at the top of the yard sign, then you're going to see more people are going to send a text. And you'll see here in our write-up, I highly recommend, and you're going to see this as a major help in your listing presentations, get a light on your yard sign, right? Especially this time of year when it's dark at 5 o'clock, putting a light on your yard sign can help you generate leads for longer during the day when everybody's out doing their walking their dog after work, and 3 or 4 yard signs in the area that are completely dark and yours is lit up. That's going to definitely help you stand out more in your area. So this is from some top agents doing this. And you're also going to see here the idea of putting listing flyers in on the yard sign. And again, this is something that people tell me they get leads from this. So every time, right, when you change the status, the listing flyers change as well. And as again, especially when we talk about pending. So we'll talk about that in this call today. But so we're going to talk about how to get direct mail or the letter, because there's a lot of ways you can do it, right? I can print and door knock. I can print and door drop. I can print and mail. So let's go through this. If you have any questions, let me know. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to listings. And again, this letter that we're going to walk through is available for every listing at every status. And again, if you don't have a listing, I would highly recommend doing this for an open house. And if you don't have that, when I talk about the landing pages, you'll have an opportunity to find something there. But again, when you can combine, open houses again are my favorite, right? With that Nearby Homeowner Letter, because then I can invite the neighbors into the open house. I'll have an opportunity to talk to them, especially if you use our open house mastery training on how to talk to people at the open house. But again, any status of listing will work. So let's go to, I've got my open house here at 15 Ambient Way. There's my open house indicator. And when I click on the green market listing button, and again, you're going to see this for every listing at every status. Again, if I need to find that guide, you'll find it right here. So I can click learn more, and that'll be the same guide that we were just looking at. But I'm going to click on Nearby Homeowner Letter. So right here, Nearby Homeowner Letter. There's 3 versions. I'm going to just click to download. Now I'll download the PDF. Now you can take this to Canva. You can play around with it a little bit if you need to. You can also edit it right here, which I'm going to show you in a second. So here's the default letter. All right. We're letting people know about the open house, that they can get more information, photos, and details by going to the link here. And again, notice that amazing link. This link is awesome. 15.thebestlisting.com. Every listing gets a URL like this. So that's amazing. If you're subscribed to a text service, that will appear. And if you're not, it won't. But then we've got the QR code as well, letting people know that when this home is sold, it will affect their home's value. They can go here, but also when they scan the QR code, they can get their home value there as well. So this letter is amazing. This is the letter that Pat is using. This is the letter that Dustin Fox used to go from 0 to 2.2 listings, or 2.2, I should say, transactions per listing. This is the letter that Corey used to get 13 listings in one farm in 1 year. 13 listings, one farm, 1 year with this letter. He sends them out at just listed and just sold. You saw Pat. She does it just listed, under contract, just sold. Dustin Fox would do it, I believe, open house and just sold. So you get the idea, sending it out once or twice during the course of the listing, and or when you have an open house is a phenomenal time to do it as well. This will get more homeowners talking to you. Now you can use it on its own, and you can also use it in a circle prospecting environment. So let me know that you can see my screen, hear me talking, that we're good to go so far. So go ahead and type into either the question or the chat box if it's making sense, or if you've got any questions about what we've covered so far. So now also, this does sit in an editor. So there's an editor icon. I'm going to click that and I'll bring it up again. So each version, below the green print and mail button, there's edit, download, and send. So if I click edit, there's a few use cases for why you might want to edit this letter. First of all, if you're using our open house mastery training, and we talk about catering the open house, so it could be as simple as get like a 2-pound container of premium mixed nuts for about $20 from Amazon or Walmart or Target, right? And serve mixed nuts in little individual serving cups with Martinelli's apple juice, for example, for a quick, easy, very inexpensive, quote unquote, catered open house. And then we got people that do a lot bigger than that. So right here in the letter it says, I want to let you know that we're having an open house at, but if I want to invite neighbors to either a neighborhood preview open house, if I'm the listing agent and I'm going to do an evening preview, if maybe I'm going to have a standard open house as either the listing agent or I'm an agent borrowing the listing to hold open, and I want to do a little bit of catering at the open house. So I might say we're having a catered open house with snacks and drinks. So see how I just added a little bit of a blurb there. Now, this could be a pending or sold listing. And again, I could add, if it was pending or sold with multiple offers, or went pending in 16 days. So it's okay to add just a little bit of a touch to this letter before printing or before downloading it. So you'll see here, when I add a little bit of text to that, it looks great. Or I could say, we're having a neighbors only catered open house. And I could say, for example, neighbors only. I want to put that in bold. All right. And then when I go to download it, PDF or JPEG, I'll say PDF. Let's try that again. Try edit. So neighbors only. Let me refresh real quick. Oh, all right. What? Let's try it again. Give me a second here. What is going on? 502. Give me a second here. Hold on a second. Hopefully we're not having an issue. I haven't seen that in forever. Oh no. Hold on a second. Why am I not able to get to? There we go. What was going on? Let's try that again. So again, I was edit. I wonder if that edit threw us off. That was crazy. Let's try it again. We're having a neighbors only catered. And again, I'm going to bold the neighbors only. Click download. Try that one more time. And hopefully that looks like it should work. There we go. And there we go. Just want to let you know we're having a neighbors only catered open house at 15 Danby Way. So this would be a phenomenal way to reach those nearby neighbors before your open house. And again, you can do this for just listed, coming soon, in contract, pending, just sold. So this letter is absolutely amazing. Now you can download it and you can mail it. You can download it and you can door knock. That's awesome. Especially, I think if I was doing an open house as an agent borrowing a listing, I would download it and I would just knock those doors the day before the open house. And if it was my listing, I would do the same thing, because what am I trying to do? I'm trying to contact, I'm trying to touch base, I'm trying to establish a relationship with more homeowners around that listing, mine or not. And so if I got the ability to door knock, I would totally do that. But door knocking is so easy to do, right? In most areas, not all areas. But again, if you need to mail it, click print and mail. You can download it and mail it with any service you want. You can also mail it through us, either to a list that you buy through us or a list that you've got yourself. For example, you could come in here and you could say, get mailing list from Express Copy, and I want to mail it within a 1 mile radius, and it'll stay as close to it and it'll work its way out. So tight radius, homeowner, owner, so not a renter, single family. In this case, I can, if I want to edit this, the filters, I can. So you can see here, we got the owner, 6 to 9 years. I can say the income selection if I want to. Right, different options. Now, you could also use a service like Bredex, Mailbox My Plus Leads, Batch Leads. So if you got a list from somewhere else, for example, you might want to get a list where you can scrub it against the DNC and then Circle Prospect with the script that we've got, so that you're both either mailing and dropping off and calling if you wanted to. So again, you can mail it through Listings to Leads. Give it probably a 2 to 3 day window. Make sure the point here is, especially if you're doing an open house coming up, make sure you look at your time lead. We don't want to try to do this when your open house is this coming weekend. It won't go out in time. So definitely take a look at that. And again, you can download, send it from your own service, send it from Listings to Leads, send it from Listings to Leads with your own mailing list, or download and door knock or door drop. Any questions on that? I'm going to show you, if I go back to listings, and let me just show you with a pending. So here's a pending listing. I'm going to click on the green market listing button, Nearby Homeowner Letter, download. Let's take a quick look at it. And so here we go. I just want to let you know that 333 Main Court, Rockland, California went pending and is expected to close soon. You get more information here. So again, that's the default. So I'm going to click on edit, and I can say, for example, went pending in 23 days with multiple offers. Now it's pending, so I'm not going to put too much in here. Pull off. There we go. I think that looks good. Now I can also notice how in the letter, that top line is really long, and then the second one's kind of small. So you can take a look at that and go, you know what, let's just edit that. When pending, multiple offers, there we go. So you see how you can edit these just a little bit. Now you don't need to. I don't want you to come in here and think, oh my God, I got to edit to just be perfect. A lot of the times people don't edit them at all. They just leave them as is. But I think if you want to do a really tight, a small edit like this, I think that would be great. And then again, just download either door knock. Can you imagine what a great opportunity I think door knock in the open house would be awesome, because here you are inviting people to the open house that you're having, especially if you're going to do a little bit of a catering with it. What a nice opportunity to be able to meet the homeowner in a way that is very friendly, very inviting. And again, especially if we're going to be catering that open house, because it gives them a little bit more of a reason to come in and hang out with you. But again, when the listing is pending, and this has got to be the best time. In my mind, if I had a listing that was pending, I would for sure be door knocking with that letter. When I had an inspection coming up, or I'm going to the property after the listing is pending, I'm going to print up 50 to 100 of these, and I'm going to spend an hour or so door knocking that neighborhood with this letter, letting people know I just got the property down the street in a contract. Just want to give you a little bit of information about it. Here you go. Let me know if you have any questions, and give them that letter. Oh my gosh. If you got a pending listing or whatever status you call that, this letter right here is your best friend. Now you can mail it as well. You can totally mail it. But again, I like the idea of door knocking if I can, put a name to the face, let me try to meet you. And again, and it's in a way that's completely related to them, because it's a house in their area that will be a comp for their property, possibly, if it's related, if it's close enough. But regardless, it will have an impact on their home value. And I'm the agent, and I got this letter. Oh yeah, I'm going to do very well. And again, now keep in mind, this also ties into your yard sign, because now they got the letter and they see the yard sign, into the open house letter, the open house yard sign, text for more information. So whether they go off the letter, maybe they see the yard sign, maybe they see the Facebook ad, they see the social media post or the e-flyer from the seller that the seller sent out. So it's this idea of just making sure that we are seen in every place possible. And this letter is almost like the cherry on the top for listing lead generation after everything else. And so that's why we got this entire checklist here, all right? The entire marketing list, of which the Nearby Homeowner Letter. Now, again, we do have postcards. Again, you can print and mail right from listings to leads. You can download. You could take this over to Canva. So let me show you the front and the back of the postcard, because these also work, as do the door hangers. And again, I could use this for just listed. I could do this for open house. I can print and mail. Now, the only thing with door hangers, they do take almost like a week to get to you. But that, that's fine for pending. When my listing goes pending, I would totally, so here's the door hanger. Here is the front of the postcard. Let me just make it a little bigger so everyone can see that nicely. So again, you got the URL, the text code, and the QR code. Here's the back of that postcard, right? So there's the back of the postcard. So the back of the postcard also has the text option, the URL. But if you scan the QR code here, you will see that the main lead capture is for the home value. But then the homeowner also has the ability to download your 100-point home marketing plan. And they've also got the ability to, what was the other one? Oh, the PDF guides, right? So here's where that QR code goes to from the letter. So I got my property video. And again, you always hear me talking about when my listing goes pending or sold, I change the property description to reflect the fact that now as homeowners are going to be seeing this. And I refer to my 100-point home marketing plan right here. There's my 3D tour. Here's my 100-point marketing plan opportunity for them to get a hold of. Beautiful. My gosh. Can you imagine a homeowner? And now imagine they're talking to an agent, and maybe they interview a listing agent, right? They want to sell their home. They're going to interview an agent. And 99% of real estate agents walk in with maybe a 1-page, maybe a 2-page slick about their marketing plan. That is why marketing In fact, this will be one of the things we talk about for the GeoFarm. If you don't have a listing, how to get this 100-point home marketing plan in front of homeowners, because this right here, we've got the ability for you to put this 100-point home marketing plan in front of homeowners in the area. So again, even if they interview another agent to list their property and they see this from you in an ad, in a post, off the Nearby Homeowner Letter, from the postcard, the door hanger, right? Whatever it is, who do you think they're going to go with? If you can get this in front of every homeowner in your area, you are going to get more listings. And that's exactly what these tools do. These tools are going to engage more of those homeowners. And again, it could be, I don't care. It could be whatever you think works better for you, but the door hanger, the postcard, or the letter. All right, just pick now, and I'll say, the easiest is the postcard, obviously, and the postcards work, but the letters work the best. I think door hangers come in number 2, the postcards number 3, but I would say if you are into doing postcards, our postcards will convert at a higher level than the postcards you're using now. Same with the door hangers. Our door hangers, with the way we've got them here, these will convert better than door hangers that you're using now. And again, keep in mind, we've got the Circle Prospecting script here as well. So there's a version where you don't use any direct mail or print mail, and there's a version when you do. And essentially, you're going to call up that homeowner. You're going to say something along the lines of, "Hey, Rod, Scott Pierce here at Listings to Lead. Want to let you know that 333 Main Court in Rockland is now pending, expected to close soon. And I believe it's only a few blocks away from you." Now, if you want to use the, "Hey, Scott, is this Scott? Yeah. Hey, this is Scott. I'm a realtor in the area. I know you're going to hate me, but if you got 30 seconds, let me tell you why I called." So if you want to do that kind of an opening, you can. But because we sent a letter, a postcard, a door hanger, we're doing a "did you get" phone call, and it's related to a property right near them. And lastly, we're not asking anything of them per se. So check out the script. I sent a letter. I dropped off a letter to you with the link to the single property website with all the photos and details. And I just want to make sure you got that. Or you can text 183710 183710 to 25678 to get the virtual tour sent to you. With the way the market is now, I just want to make sure to let you know about this. And when this home is sold, it will affect the value of the homes around, including yours. I expect we're going to get a price. I think it'll be a positive effect on your home value. And because of this, I will be preparing an updated home value estimate for your home. And I just want to make sure that Scott at Listings to Leads is the best one to send that to. What a great phone call. Even if I just leave a voicemail, that would be phenomenal. Make sense for everybody? Using the letter, the postcard, or the door hanger, that alone is going to move the needle when you do it, even when you do it just a couple of times. We've had clients get listings after the first time they do it, and it's not one of those 1 in a million things. No, it happens where you do that once, you're going to get a listing. But if you can do it a couple of times over the course of that listing, again, it could be any of the for sale statuses. So coming soon, just listed, active or open house, do this plan, right? Letter, postcard, or door hanger. And then again, when the listing goes pending and when the listing sells. And one thing I didn't mention yet is don't do 500 at a time. Do about 100. Start at 100. Now, Corey, in fact, I'm going to click on success stories. I'm going to open link in a new tab, right? 13 listings from this letter. Bernadette went door knocking, got a listing. Elena, she was a selling agent, got a listing. And she just printed them up, as you can see here, and just tri-folded and mailed them. Now, I would say don't I don't like this much editing. Now, I'm never going to argue with success, but in general, the less editing you do, the better. But hey, you know what? Bernadette, another 2 listings. Bob, right here, sign writer, $1.5 million listing. Also using the postcards. Another listing, open house, right? Check this guy out here. Open house marketing, flyers, door knocking, etc. We invited the neighbors like the training right here. We got 2 offers from people that came to the open house from their marketing, got 1 listing already because he was talking to one of the homeowners. See how an open house really opens up the opportunity to connect with nearby neighbors if you do it right. When you do it right, the open house becomes just a floodgate for engagement with homeowners around that listing. And you don't even have to be the listing agent, because in our training on the open house, you're going to see there are 7 ways to generate seller leads after the open house is over with. And so again, even if, especially if it's your listing, I would do it. But if you're going to borrow a listing to hold open, there are literally 7 ways, and it's in our overview training here. So when you click for the overview training, you're going to see right here near the top, 7 ways to get listings after your open house is over with. So that's why I love the open house, because you can use, and people, and I got this from a client, you can use that nearby neighbor letter as an open house update. So check this out. If I go back to listings, and then we're going to talk about, if you just don't have anything, we're going to walk through that listing presentation piece. So for the open house, so here we go, 15 Ambient Way market listing. I'm going to click back to market listing. I'm going to go back to the Nearby Homeowner Letter. Now here's a massive tip for you. After the open house is over with, come in here, go to edit. And so the previous edit we did was to invite the neighbors to the open house from 1 to 4, right? The standard open house, or maybe we did a neighbors only, but right, we invited the neighbors to the open house. Now, after the open house, check this out. I want to let you know that we had 23 people at our open house. Over 5,000 saw it online, and all of them love this area, or this, and I'm going to add just a quick update on the open house from Sunday. So you get what I'm doing, right? All I'm doing is I'm just doing a little update here. We had 20 people open up 5,000 online. All of them love this neighborhood. Unfortunately, only 1 can buy this home, while the others will have to keep. This would be another phenomenal letter to send to those, or to get to those neighbors, or the same people, all right? The same people. Don't start sending to other people. We want to keep to the same people for all of these letters, right? When it's around, when we're doing the circle prospecting, because when we can hit those people a couple of times, it's going to increase our conversion. And so if you're doing an open house, in particular, if you're going to borrow the listings, so you don't really have the opportunity to do a pending or sold, right? So you want to try to get one or 2 opportunities to connect with those homeowners. So this is a phenomenal way to do it after the open house. And you're going to be surprised, from the agents I've talked to that have done the post, you actually get a nice little kick. All right. You get a nice little lift there, because then the neighbors are like, holy crap, who is this person? And then now if you only had 1 or 2 people through the open house, I wouldn't use that in the letter. But what it does is it calls the neighbors to just go, holy crap, wow, that's awesome. And maybe they even came by the open house, right? That would even be better, because you have an opportunity to connect with them. So this is where combining geofarming, circle prospecting, if you're going to do that part of it, with good real estate marketing, all of this coming together is going to help you just absolutely dominate your geofarm. Even if you've never had a listing there, start with doing the open houses. But if you've got a listing, lean into getting the letter out. Try to get that letter out once or twice over the course of the listing. And you saw with Pat, she does it 2 to 3 times for the listing. Corey, he normally does it twice. A lot of people will do it twice. And then, but hey, what if you don't have a listing period? So we've got all of the PDF guides have all of these tools. All the seller landing pages have them. But one of the things I would look at, including the what is your home worth landing pages. So we've got those postcards, but I like this one a lot. So listing presentation, postcards and door hangers. Get top dollar with your home for your home with our 100-point home marketing plan. So let me download. Now you can print and mail from listings to leads. You can download, print from another program. And you can also put these in your automations. So if you got automations set up for seller leads, add these postcards to your automation. In fact, I'm going to be doing a training on that with Will from Mailbox Power. So here, check out that postcard. So there's the front of the postcard, and this will be your branding. So the branding I've got is the black and gold branding. So whatever company you're with, your branding will be good. Here's the back of the postcard. So this would be phenomenal. So again, I got a postcard. I've got a one-sided postcard. So you got a few different options here. I've got a panoramic, mega, door hanger. I've got print flyers. And when I talk about automations, again, think about the fact that if it is your listing, once you do, so maybe you do the open house letter, then you do a just sold letter, but hey, you know what? You don't want to stop. So include some of the other tools from listings to leads in those follow-ups, in those automations that you're doing. Check this out. So you could take, and let's say you want to do a postcard automation, just download the postcard and add it to whatever program you're using just for your seller leads and let that work for you. Because even if you're going to send it out through, so let's say, for example, you are a Mailbox Power client, you've got this inside of your automation so that whenever you got a seller lead, whether it's like a likely to list or expired or maybe even FSBO, right? We got a lot of great tools for all of those, and this could be added to any one of them. So again, I could download, print, mail this as a one-off. I can download and mail from another service, and I can print and mail from listings to leads. And here, let me just download the print flyer. How beautiful is this flyer? My gosh. In fact, I've always talked about, if I show you, if I go to the mastermind group, and if I use the search, and if I do open house flyer, let me see if I can show you something here. Because I did a post and very popular. Yes, here we go. At your open house, get some of these flyer holders. And I've never thought of it until just now when I look at that flyer, I would put that at my open house. So and I've got them with me right here. So I've got this right here. These are the PDF guides. So anyway, we got all the different PDF guides. All the PDF guides have print flyers as well. And so we talked about the idea that at an open house, print up a couple of these and just put them around the open house. So it may sound funny. And we got the buyer guides. So I'll do a couple of buyer guides. I'll do a couple of seller guides, and just one in the kitchen, one in the living room, maybe one in the master bedroom. And so what it does, it gives people the opportunity, without you hovering over them, to scan the QR code on something that may be of interest to them, to further that engagement in the conversation about selling or buying property. This isn't a training that we've done that people love this idea. And so I was just thinking for the first time, I was like, man, you know what? I would totally print this up and I would add this to every single open house that I do. Does everybody get that, right? Do you see why that would be so popular? So let me know if that makes sense about this idea of putting that at your open house. And then there's another version here. So again, when we're doing GeoFarm, when we're doing circle prospecting is a little bit different, but when we are doing a GeoFarm / circle prospecting strategy, having things, we don't want to just end it after the listing is sold. So we try to use the Nearby Homeowner Letter, postcard, or door hanger for our listing. Maybe it's for an open house that we're going to borrow. Because here's the deal. If you can't even find a listing to hold open in that farm area, then it's probably not that good of a farm area. You should be able to have, you want to be doing a couple of open houses every single month minimum. I would say if I was an agent and I am not getting a transaction a week, I would be doing open houses until I do. And then I would be so excited about the fact that it works so well that I would keep doing it. And the best way to get the most bang out of your open house, the most listings, the most buyers, is use the open house marketing checklist. Again, all the way down, we got the new open house sign-in forms, which are awesome. I absolutely love them. We got the open house mastery. That's going to walk you through how to conduct the actual open house itself to get more conversations with homeowners and home sellers. And then we go through all the ways to generate buyer and seller leads from that open house. And again, this could be your listing or a borrowed listing. It doesn't have to be your listing. We got the Instagram stories ideas. How many of you are doing Instagram stories for your listings? So let me know if you're doing Instagram stories for your listings, make sure that you're integrating the tools from listings to leads into them. So for example, here's my story for an open house. And I've combined a couple of things. I've combined a link to the single property website. So right from my Instagram story, people can access my single property website. And then here I got a poll, looking to buy a home in the next 12 months. Yes, send me a home buying guide. No, I need to sell my home. And let's come back. Here we go. So use your stories, right? You got the tools from listings to leads, which are awesome for that. And then again, coming back down, here's that Nearby Homeowner Letter write-up. A lot of great information there. We got the circle prospecting script for that right in your account. And then again, I want to make sure I pull your attention to the fact of the both listing flyers on the yard sign, and make sure your yard sign is up to snuff. I don't want to see a sad yard sign. It's easy to think your yard sign's not costing you business because so many yard signs look like crap. Pick a good looking yard sign. And this guy right here, he tells me he gets listings because of his yard sign. Now he's a listings to leads client, he's a listings to leads, but at the same time, when he's in a listing presentation and he talks about the fact that his yard sign is set up to be able to give information to people that want information about their home 24/7. He's got a light on it. So all night long, anyone seeing that yard sign will be able to actually see the yard sign. And they'll be able to either send a text. Some of the sign writers have the QR codes on them. I like the text better than a QR code. And the listing flyers. Again, if you've got listings, I would just try to get in the habit of always doing that. You're going to find that your overall cost per lead, when you consider the cost of the flyer box, the cost of the flyers, the cost of putting a couple in there every so often to just make sure it's got some flyers in there. Now, you might get a flyer stolen here or there. That's not going to happen very often. Don't freak out like, oh, I'm going to put flyers in, the people are going to steal them. That may happen, but I don't think so. I've never heard of that, except from people thinking it's going to happen. But I've never had someone tell me, oh yeah, I did the flyers and someone stole them all. That's not going to happen. People walking the dog, people doing their evening or morning walk before or after work, whatever they're doing, they're going to just walk by. Again, some are going to send a text to the phone, but some are just going to go, oh, they got flyers. Let me grab a flyer. And now they've got something in their hand. And let me just show you real quickly here, the flyers. So if I go back, in fact, let me show you a pending flyer because that's a little bit more unusual for most of you. The open house flyer, the just listed flyer, that all makes sense to all of us. But let me show you the listing flyer for a pending listing. Let me show you a different one. That's for another home in. That's a little bit different that's not my listing. That's a borrowed listing. But this would be my listing. And when I click on listing flyer, let me just download. Doesn't matter which version, whatever version you like is the one you should use. But they are all going to have some very powerful lead capture by default. So notice, first of all, the QR code, because what are we trying to do? We're trying to get people from offline to your online. So there's a QR code. And again, this is all my branding colors. So whatever your colors are will be your flyer. We got a text code so they can send a text. And we got the need to sell before you buy. So now imagine that yard sign's got the pending writer on the top. It's got text 183710 to 25678. It's got that sign writer as well. But then it's got these flyers in a plexiglass flyer box on the yard sign as well. You will get more people grabbing this, scanning that QR code as well, maybe texting off of this, taking this home and leaving it on their kitchen table. That's what you want. Please show the link. Oh yeah, no, so let me just show you real quickly, everybody. When you're on the dashboard, this is the easiest way to find all of this stuff. Here are all the checklists. So I'll just do the open house one, but you should see it at all of them. I'm going to click learn more, step-by-step guide, learn more. So Patricia, let me know if you're following here. And then in any of these checklists for the statuses, just scroll down because, on that list, it's towards the bottom. So I'm just going to scroll down to yard sign or sign writer. And then Patricia right here, link to sign writer mentioned. And again, I'll put this link. In fact, no, let me put this link in here. And there you go. So hopefully everyone just got that link to this page here. And that way you can just see all of the stuff on here. It'll be a lot easier for you. So any questions on any of the stuff that we did? And one last thing, let me just mention here. We talked about the postcard for the listing presentation, right? The 100-point home marketing plan. So again, here, listing presentation, and there's a script right here. So database call script, and then cold call, for circle prospecting. So voicemail, live. So again, print flyer, postcard door hanger. Oh, farm and circle prospecting script. I'm sorry. So farm/circle prospecting script right there. And here's the script for that. And so again, it becomes a really beautiful, and this is why, I am a big believer in, if you're going to have a farm, which I would imagine all of you should, or if you've got a listing, purchasing that list of homeowners from a program like My Plus Leads or RedX, and then scrubbing them, that's an asset to your business. That's really, I think, an investment, because when you have a listing, that is the best touch point for getting more listings. All right. When you have a listing, that is the easiest thing to leverage into more listings, especially when you've got listings to leads. And purchasing that list of homeowners and scrubbing that list against the do not call, so that you can mail, you can email, because we got the e-flyer for your database. Why would I not want to get this to everybody in my database? And why would I not want to have, if you can get all those emails to all the homeowners that you're going to send the postcard and door hanger to, or the letter to, the people that you're going to call, if you're going to do that, which I highly recommend. One of the things that we're trying to do in real estate is have more good conversations with homeowners and home buyers, and getting these tools to the homeowners and then following that up with a phone call, especially when it's, again, focused on a listing, especially to start with, and then add something like this to it, right? Then we got your client review website has all the direct print marketing materials, all the landing pages. So when I go to landing pages, for example, you're going to see us talking a lot more about the expireds. So if I use filter by type expired, All right, these are all my expired landing pages. And these got postcards and door hangers. And now this actually might work. Now, we had a client, right? He did the Facebook ad. He got a listing appointment scheduled. Did a Facebook ad and got a listing appointment scheduled right from the ad. But again, we've got postcards and door hangers. Now, typically for expired, you're going to send the postcard to that expired listing specifically. I'm not going to blanket an entire area. So let me just finish up the call today by saying, if there are any expireds in your area, make sure you set up the landing page. And then we got postcards and door hangers. We got print flyers. We've got a script for calling them. And then we got other tools as well to attract expired homeowners to you. And we got the same thing for FSBOs. So if you've got any FSBOs in your farm area, and again, I'll filter by type. You can see all the FSBO landing pages I've created. All right, so here's my FSBO marketing tools. And notice I've got postcards and door hangers for FSBO. And check out that URL here. Let me download this real quick. Download PDF front. Similar to the expired, you get these really awesome domains. And so this is going to help you convert more expireds in your farm area, convert more FSBOs in your farm area. It's absolutely awesome. Every home in that area should be listing with you and nobody else. Everybody, that's all I've got for the moment. Any questions, any comments, anything I can help you with related to anything that we've done? Nora, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Anybody else? And then get ready. I can't wait to get this to everybody. The flipbook or the listing presentation, especially, right? Again, we're going to be doing this for expireds. You've already got the PDF for the expireds and FSBOs and the standard listing presentation, but now you're going to have the flipbooks. Oh, I can't wait. Everybody, listen, have an awesome day. We'll talk to you soon.